All right, so for this week's episode, Merry Christmas, by the way. We plan a little something where we're going to go through our top 5 Christmas movies of all time and compare and contrast. Now, before everybody gets pissed off about this segment, there are so many freaking Christmas movies, and I could only get to so many. I was super busy freaking out about The Mandalorian and all this other kind of stuff this week. There are literally hundreds of classic Christmas movies that I missed, and I know my list is going to piss some people off. So there's room for that next year. I only could see so many. Some of these are childhood nostalgia. But I say we start off at number 5.
All right.
And we go down the line.
I'm going to go with the underdog here because I love it and I watch it every year. Charlie Brown Christmas. I love the special.
Okay.
I love it. I think it's fantastic. It's such a cool just story.
I mean, it's a
love
part of Christmas now.
It is. It's canon pretty much. But I love Charlie Brown because I feel like at least the character specials were so great because they had, as a kid, it's fun and you have pretty colors and everything. But they have a really nice undertone subliminality about them. Just deep-seated and whether it's Lucy or everyone, they just have a way of kind of going about things from an adult perspective because Charlie Brown is such a melancholy.
Yeah. I've never seen Charlie Brown.
Really?
I've never seen Charlie Brown. I know that's crazy and everybody freaks out when I say that. I've seen the Thanksgiving one, but I never grew up with it. Yeah, so my number 5 Christmas movie is Christmas in Connecticut. I don't know if you know that.
Nice. Which I don't know that I've heard of that one. Which one is
Christmas in Connecticut. It's like an old black and white. See, I'm a sucker for black and white movies, especially when it comes to Christmas movies. So it's an old black and white movie, like one of those like old war movies. Mm-hmm. This is the whole thing. It's like an old black and white rom-com, and it's ridiculous and over the top. But the writing in it is actually, it surprisingly stands the test of time. It's kind of funny and savage at some points. And it's just like, dude, it's just a cute Christmas movie. It's like one of those things. It's an old black and white movie. I remember watching it as a kid. It's like, dude, you can't resist movies like that. They're just so good and they're so sweet, and it's such a like classic Christmas thing. Yeah, it's a funny, entertaining movie, and like I said, it actually does a decent job of kind of standing the test of time with writing and things like that, which a lot of times older movies don't. Mm-hmm. And it does a decent job of it. So yeah, it's my number 5.
My number 4. It's not higher on the list, but I do love it. A Christmas Story. I love that movie. I've seen it. First time I ever saw it was when I was 8 years old, and I never forgot it. I love Ralphie, the whole story of his gun. All he wanted, forget all gun violence crap, all that stuff. All he wanted was a gun. That's all he wanted was a toy. Like, shoot your eye out. I
think it's such a relatable thing as a kid.
Yeah, it's
like, I don't know about you. When I was a kid, I just had one Spider-Man toy. It's the only toy I ever had, and I would imagine it was everything else. But it was like, dude, all I need is this one toy, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole culture it's made, the lamp, the Chinese restaurant, everything is just so classic, and I love it. It's such a fun, just nostalgic Christmas movie that I watch every year.
Dude, I think my list is going to be so much more controversial than yours. Right.
Probably.
Number 4, the underdog, the one that nobody expected. This blew my mind away. Fat Man.
Okay.
I loved it.
Right.
I loved it. Dude, I know this is ridiculous. If you guys haven't seen it, it was this like rated R Christmas movie where Mel Gibson was playing Santa. It just came out this year. It looked like this dark comedy. It looked like John Wick meets Santa Claus. It's not that. It is, but it isn't. Like it I watched it and it took me by surprise because it was actually better than I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought it was going to be just like, okay, this is going to be like an over the top, like ridiculous swear word, blood filled, like dark comedy. But it was actually really heartfelt and like dramatic, and it did a really good job. The lady who played Mrs. Claus was amazing. Like, she was actually really good. Mel Gibson was really good. The guy who played the villain, I'm blanking on his name. He was super good. Dude, like, it took me by surprise, and I know, a lot of people might disagree that it should be in the top 5 Christmas movies, but it's fresh in my head. I did not expect it to be as good as it was, and it actually turned out to be really good. And I'm a sucker for dark comedies. I like dark comedies, and I really like Mel Gibson. I think he's an underrated actor. It does not deserve the hate that it's getting, so go watch that movie, guys. It's Definitely. Such a good movie.
And my number 3 is one that is debated for both Halloween and Christmas, but I'll always stand it as a Christmas movie, and I love it till the day I die. Nightmare Before Christmas. I love that movie.
Oh,
I
that's a
think that it's
Christmas movie for sure, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a
I think so.
fantastic fish out of water story. Henry Selick directed it. Most people think it's Tim Burton's, but his name is on it. But really, it's a Henry Selick product, and I love it. It's amazing. I love everything about it. Stop motion animation at its heyday. Just an amazing ride. Weird, fantastical, everything you want it to be.
I always liked the
seen it at this
aesthetic of
point?
that movie. It always
for sure.
like I liked, when people did decorations for Nightmare Before Elm Street and stuff like that. Like I always thought that was super cool, and I always enjoyed the aesthetic of Nightmare Before Christmas. Sorry.
Yeah, you
I wasn't actually a huge fan of the film, but I like there's parts of it that I really like, and I do really like the stop motion animation. And there's something about like if I had decorations of that, I would put it up in my yard. It's hard to explain.
Oh yeah, for sure. And can't this year because coronavirus, but the Haunted Mansion gets done every year for this film, and I love riding through it every year. It's great.
Now, does the Haunted Mansion get done for Christmas or Halloween like this?
They actually, I believe they do it like before Halloween, but it's actually done through Christmas. So it's a whole.
Because I was gonna say that would be the
but
deciding
it's for
factor.
Christmas.
I have no idea what it is. Christmas or Halloween movie. Tell us what you
Yeah.
guys think. Is it a Christmas or a Halloween movie? I have no idea. But I do know my number 3 is a Christmas movie. No matter what you freaking say.
Mm-hmm.
Die Hard, number 3
Yeah.
Christmas movie of all time. I don't care what you say, dude. It's a Christmas movie. All right, it ends with Christmas music. It's epic. I know they've come out and said publicly that it's not a Christmas movie. Fuck off. It's a Christmas movie. It's so well done. It's a classic. Like, I don't need to tell you guys about Die Hard. You know about Die Hard. Bruce Willis, he has hair. Alan Rickman, the greatest villain of all time in anything that he's in. And then Christmas movie. Running barefoot. It's just badass, okay? It's an OG action movie. It's amazing. It's a classic. It doesn't get any better. All right. Coming in at number 2 Christmas movies of all time. What's your pick?
It's probably. I don't know if this would even be in people's top 5, but I love it and stand by it, and every year I get to watch it. It's a film that came out recently that you saw the other night. Jonathan Levine's The Night Before. I love this movie. God, everything about it. It's just so fun and fresh to me. And I remember seeing it for the first time, and I thought, because I like Neighbors and Sausage Party and all the Jonathan Levine, Seth Rogen movies.
It's got
50-50.
Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, I love this movie. It was so original and fun, and has a really nice heart to it. Just 3 guys going around New York City at night, just the best. It's so funny, and really nice heart to it at its core. Doesn't take itself too seriously, but it doesn't need to, and it's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's very Seth Rogen. Like it reminds me of one of those movies. I don't know if it just wasn't my thing. I tried watching it because you told me about this movie, and I was like, well, I have to watch this movie to see if it's in my top 5 Christmas movies, because this is like your favorite Christmas movie ever, or apparently second favorite Christmas movie ever. It is. It's endearing. It's very Seth Rogen, and there are some absolutely hysterical moments, like spoilers, but the moment where he's like in the church. Seth Rogen is in the church. It's so wrong and so funny in so many ways. Oh my gosh, it's definitely a movie worth watching for sure. It's not a family movie, so don't watch it with
Not
the
at
children.
all.
But nor is my number 2.
What is your number 2?
Love Actually.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that movie is the greatest modern day romantic Christmas movie or Christmas rom-com ever made. And the reason it's not, you'll find out why it's not number 1, but that is the greatest Christmas rom-com ever made. It's so adorable, okay? Keira Knightley's storyline's a little weird, and she's kind of an
that
asshole
one
because she
pisses
totally cheats on her husband, which is
pisses the
such
shit
bullshit.
out of me.
Yeah, that one's not
God,
cute. I never really got that one.
I freaking hate her character.
I know, she's a terrible human being. Like, I don't understand that. Like, I don't know why that's like lifted up, and whatever. I know they were trying to be like cool and nuanced, but that is the worst story ever. But besides that storyline, like ignoring that, everything else is hilarious, dude. The cast is incredible. Like, those are some of the best British actors on the planet, and they're great. They're all amazing. Hugh Grant is just he's so sweet, dude. It's just one of those like feel good Christmas movies, and it's done so well. And dude, it's a great Christmas movie. You should go watch it. Once again, don't watch it with the family. It's a little adult at some parts. Yeah. But dude, it's just such a good Christmas movie. It's so classic. It's feel good. It's nice that it's kind of like a feel good holiday movie. You know, sometimes I feel like you just need that. It's a romance, but it's also more like you have the Liam Neeson storyline with his kid, which is just so cute, dude. Like that is just so cute, man. Chestnuts. Your number one Christmas movie of all time, which is gonna piss off all the audience members.
Oh, it's gonna piss everybody off. As you know, I'm a diehard Jon Favreau fan, and I said that, so you already know what movie I'm talking about. I
the movie that people don't
He's
know.
Awesome, and I think that. Yeah, I know. Before
he was the Iron Man director,
before he was the Iron Man guy,
producer.
Yep, he made a little movie called Elf, and I love that movie so much. I think it's such a fantastic movie. I don't care what anyone says. It's my favorite Christmas movie. I love Will Ferrell. I think that was a role, one of my favorites he's ever done. It's just so sweet and endearing the way that
he is, because sometimes he gets really annoying, but like he's at his best in that movie, I think.
Oh, for sure. He absolutely just playing an innocent fish out of water in New York City, and it's done in such a clever, nice way. I feel like this movie is awesome because it doesn't try and bastardize any sort of like commercial intent on Christmas. It's not putting anyone down. It's just literally a story about a kid trying to find his father, and it's just so sweet and endearing. Ed Asner, people don't know, Ed Asner played Santa Claus, who was also in Pixar's Up. Played Carl Fredricksen.
Oh wow!
So it's a fun fact.
Do you know who the dad of Elf is?
James Caan, who was in Misery with Kathy.
And he's Sonny in The Godfather.
Yeah. But yeah, so
no, I don't think anybody's gonna disagree with you, dude. It's a Christmas classic. I just have a black soul, and so God forbid I like a happy movie for my number one Christmas movie of all time. I mean,
what is your number one?
It's A Wonderful Life, dude.
Oh,
nice. You've seen that movie, right?
Actually, I haven't. That's one of my that I've never seen. Never taken. No,
what?
I know,
dude.
Shocking.
It is the best Christmas movie. Okay, it's old once again, but it's just so well done. It is one of the few old movies. You know how you watch an old movie, even stuff like Star Wars sometimes, where it'll be like it's a tad dated, but it was legendary for its time. This movie is not like that, and that's why I think it's the number one Christmas movie of all time, because it tells such a compelling story, and it's so like it's very dark for a Christmas movie. I don't want to go into spoilers because you've never seen it, but it goes places that most Christmas movies won't go, but it has the confidence to do that. And then, you know, it by going low, it really uplifts you when it goes high. It's classic, and it's like, dude, I can't even describe it. It's one of the few movies that stands the test of time. Like, people like it for different reasons, but it's like even some older movies, even older Christmas movies, even like Christmas in Connecticut, it's like, okay, they're a little dated. This movie is so well done, so well acted, so well written, that I think watching it even with a modern day mind, it holds up. And it's just incredibly well done. So yeah, that's it. That's our top 10 Christmas movies, or 5 Christmas movies of all time. 10 in total, I guess.